Okay. In continuation of the yesterday's class, the formulas related to limits. Standard formula. Standard formula related to the limits. The first one is limit x goes to a, x power n minus a power n by x minus a is n into a power n minus n into a power n minus 1, where n is a real number. Once n is a real number, limit as x goes to a, x power n minus a power n by x minus a equal to n into a power n minus 1. Here a is also a real, x is also a real. As limit x goes to a, x power n minus a power n by x minus a equal to n into a power n minus 1. This is one important result. In dealing the limits of algebraic functions exclusively, this formula is very useful. For example, limit x goes to a or limit x goes to 2, x power 4 minus 2 power 4 by x minus 2. Limit as x goes to 2, x power 4 minus 2 power 4 by x minus 2. Here a is 2, n is 4. A is 2, n is 4. Hence, this is 4 into, that means n into a power, that means 2 power 4 minus 1. That is 4 into 2 cube, where 4 into 2 cube is 8. So, the required limit is 32. In such cases, you can apply this formula, limit as x goes to a, x power n minus a power n by x minus a equal to n into a power n minus 1. This is one important formula. Based on this formula, limit as x goes to a, x power m minus a power m by x power n minus a power n. Limit as x goes to a, x power n minus a power m by x power n minus a power n value. Suppose the given function is of the form x power m minus a power m by x power n minus a power n as x goes to a. This may be written as limit as x goes to a, x power m minus a power m by x minus a by x power n minus a power n by x minus a. Just I am dividing the numerator and denominator with x minus a. Dividing the numerator and denominator with x minus a, there is no change in the function. So, once you divide the numerator and denominator with x minus a, the numerator becomes, the numerator is as if the formula limit as x goes to a, x power n minus a power n by x minus a, and the denominator also comes to the same formula. Hence, you can apply the limit to both the numerator and denominator as well, because this limit exists. Moreover, for the denominator function also the limit exists, the required limit exists. Once for the numerator and denominator the limit exists and takes a finite value, you can apply the limit to numerator and denominator individually. So, limit as x goes to a, x power m minus a power n by x minus a is nothing but by that formula m into a power m minus 1. In the denominator also applying that formula n into a power n minus 1. So, on simplification this is m by n, collecting a powers here, a power m minus 1 minus n plus 1. Once you rise to the a power n minus 1 to the numerator, the power n minus 1 becomes minus n plus 1. So that this one get cancelled. So that is m by n, a power m minus n. Therefore, limit as x goes to a, x power m minus a power m by x power n minus a power n, where m and n are reals, is m by n, a power m minus n. You can use it as a formula. This is one more standard formula. Next, the formula related to trigonometric functions. This is also an important formula. Limit as x goes to 0, sin x by x is always equal to 1 when x is in radians. This is also an important one. Limit as x goes to 0, sin x by x. Limit as x goes to 0, sin x by x equal to 1. This is the formula very useful in dealing the evaluation of the trigonometric limits of the trigonometric functions. Because sine is a trigonometric function, once the function is of the form sin x by x, where x is measured in radians, limit as x goes to 0, x approaches to 0, that is always equal to 1. This is very important one. Based on this, we get limit as x goes to 0, sin ax by x, where x is measured in radians here also. Limit as x goes to 0, sin ax by x may be written as limit x goes to 0, sin of ax by ax into a. Just I am multiplying the numerator and denominator with a. Since a is a constant, a real constant, you can take it outside the limit and you can apply the limit to this one, sin ax by ax. As x goes to 0, ax also goes to 0. So hence, you can write this limit as ax goes to 0, sin of ax by ax. Since as x goes to 0, that immediately gives us ax also goes to 0. Instead of taking as x goes to 0, we can take ax goes to 0, sin ax by ax. These two limits are one and the same. The result is one and the same. So, that is a into, this is of the form clearly this one, sin capital X, suppose assuming ax as capital X, sin capital X by capital X as the capital X goes to 0, which is clearly 1. Hence, the required limit is a. Therefore, limit x goes to 0, sin ax by x is always a. Based on this, suppose whenever you have the limit like this, immediately you can say that the limit is 3. Limit as x goes to 0, sin 3x by x is always equal to 3, where x is measured in radians. Again, based on the same formula, one more formula is fifth one. Limit as x goes to 0, suppose sin ax by sin bx. Limit as x goes to 0, sin ax by sin bx. Now, this can be evaluated by dividing the numerator and denominator with x. Dividing the function numerator and denominator with x, there is no change in the function. So, you can write the given function as sin ax by x by sin bx by x. Dividing the numerator and denominator, we get this one. Now, apply the limit to the numerator and denominator separately, because the limit exists as limit as x goes to 0, sin ax by x takes a finite value clearly here. So, we are reducing the given function to that formula. So, once reducing the given limit to the previous formula, the numerator takes the value a and the denominator takes the value b. Hence, limit as x goes to 0, limit as x goes to 0, sin ax by sin bx is always equal to a by b, where a, b are reals and x is measured in radians. This is important. X is measured in radians. If x is given in degrees, what happened? Limit as x goes to 0, sin x degrees by x. Here this is given in degrees, whereas this is radians. That is the problem. So, limit x goes to 0, sin x degrees by x. This is in radians, this is, whereas this is in degrees. Now, change the degrees into radians. Changing the degrees in radians, we know that 180 degrees equal to pi radians. 180 degrees equal to pi radians. That implies 1 degree takes the value pi by 180 radians. Okay, pi by 180 radians. Therefore, x degrees is pi x by 180 radians. X degrees is nothing but pi by 180 into x radians. Now, coming to given limit. GL stands for given limit. Given limit becomes limit as x goes to 0, sin of x degrees, degrees in radians is pi by 180 x by x itself. Once this is degrees and whereas this is radians, that difference should be observed here. So, limit as x goes to 0, sin pi by 180 x by x. Here everything is in radians and it is of the form limit as x goes to 0, sin ax by x. Sin ax by x, where a is pi by 180. Hence, this is clearly pi by 180 is our required limit. Since just I am applying the same formula, limit as x goes to 0, sin ax by x is a, where x is in radians. X is measured in radians. This is our formula. So, limit as x goes to 0, sin x degrees by x is always equal to pi by 180. These are all useful in dealing the evaluation of limits of the trigonometric functions. limits of the trigonometric functions. Similarly, one more formula, next formula. Limit as x goes to 0, tan x by x, x is measured in radians. This is also 1. This is also an important one. Just like sine, limit as x goes to 0, tan x by x is also 1. Since you can write it as limit x goes to 0, sin x by x cos x, because given limit equal to limit as x goes to 0, tan x is sin x by cos x, hence sin x by x cos x. Now you can write limit as x goes to 0, sin x by x into 1 by cos x. You can write it like this. Now this is of the form limit f into g. Once the individual limits exist and takes finite value, you can apply the limit individually to both f and g. So limit as x goes to 0, sin x by x exists as by the previous formula. You can able to find this limit as 1. It takes a finite value, hence you can apply the limit to this one, into limit as x goes to 0, 1 by cos x. As x is nearing to 0, cos x is nearing to 1, because cos 0 is 1. Hence, limit as x goes to 0, sin x by x is 1, and this is 1 by 1 itself. Once the limit exists and takes a finite value, you can straight away substitute that value in that function. Since as x goes to 0, cos x is nearing to 1. As x goes to 0, cos x is nearing to 1, hence it takes the 1 by 1. So the required limit is 1. So limit as x goes to 0, tan x by x, where x is measured in radians, is always equal to 1, where x is in radians. If x is given in degrees, as if in the previous case, you have to change it to the radians to apply that formula. So limit as x goes to 0, tan x by x is always equal to 1. Based on this, one more formula, limit as x goes to 0, tan ax by tan bx is, as if in sine formula, it is a by b. It is a by b. Tan x goes to 0, tan ax by tan bx is a by b. Solution, limit as x goes to 0, tan ax by tan bx equal to limit as x goes to 0, divide the numerator and denominator with x by tan bx by ax into ax, here of course, here bx into bx. You can write the given function like this. Just I am dividing the numerator with ax and multiplying the same numerator with ax. So ax, once you remove this one, you get tan ax itself. Similarly, dividing the denominator with the bx and multiplying with bx, we get this one. That gives us limit x goes to 0, tan ax by x by tan bx by bx. This is one function, this is another function, into ax by bx. That gives us a by b. A by b is a constant. It does not depend on x. So it is a constant. So you can take it out of the limit and you can write the limit as a by b into and apply the limit to the numerator as well as denominator by Ax by limit as x goes to 0 tan Bx by Bx. X goes to 0, here x goes to 0 is same to that of Ax goes to 0, because as x is approaching to 0, Ax is also approaching to 0. So, instead of taking as x goes to 0, you can take it as Ax goes to 0, because once x is nearing to 0, as x is nearing to 0, Ax also nearing to 0. Hence, instead of x goes to 0, here I am taking limit Ax goes to 0, tan Ax by x, one and the same, these two are one and the same, because x is nearing to 0, both Ax and Bx nearing to 0. So, you can write that limit is like that. Limit as Ax goes to 0 tan Ax by Ax, which reduces to the formula tan x by x as x goes to 0 form. Hence, this is as if that formula, hence the numerator takes the value 1. Similarly, the denominator is also takes the value 1, because both numerator and denominator limits are in this form, in this formula, in the form of that formula. Hence, straight away you can take this limit as 1 and this limit as also 1. So, ultimately you get a by b is our required limit. So, limit as x goes to 0 tan Ax by tan Bx is a by b. Just as if in case of sine, what happened, in case of tan is also we get the same value. So, limit as x goes to 0 tan Ax by tan Bx is a by b. Next one. These are all related to trigonometric functions. Next formula. Limit x goes to 0 sin x degrees by x degrees, where x is measured in degrees here. Here x degrees, here is also x degrees, this is also x degrees. So, limit as x goes to 0, as the x degrees is nearing to 0 degrees, sin x degrees by x degrees is as if sin x by x as x goes to 0, that is always equal to 1. Whereas limit x goes to 0, sin x degrees by x, here x is measured in radians and here x measured in degrees, then you get pi by 180. You observe the difference between these two formulae. Next, if x is measured in radians, limit x goes to 0, cos x is always equal to 1. Limit as x goes to 0, cos x is always equal to 1. Next, limit x goes to 0, sin Ax plus or minus sin Bx plus or minus sin Cx by, these are all sines or tans. Similarly, sin Cx, already C is used here, sin tan of dx plus or minus tan of Ex tan of fx. This is nothing but, suppose the function is in such a form, sin ax plus or minus sin bx plus or minus sin cx by tan dx plus or minus tan ex plus or minus tan fx. As x goes to 0, x is measured in radians. This is clearly, you can write it as limit x goes to 0, sin ax by x plus or minus sin bx by x plus or minus sin cx by x by, just I am dividing the numerator, the terms of the numerator with x. Similarly, divide the denominator terms with x, so that there is no change in function. Without changing the original function, you can take any operation. The basic nature of the function does not changes here by dividing the numerator, each and every term of the numerator as well as denominator with x. So, limit as x goes to 0, sin ax by x plus or minus sin bx by x plus or minus sin cx by x by, similarly, sin tan dx by x plus or minus tan cx by x plus or minus tan fx by x, where x is measured in radians. Now, apply the limit term by term. You can apply the limit term by term. So, once you apply the limit to this first term, sin ax by x as x goes to 0 is a plus or minus sin bx by x as x goes to 0 is b plus or minus sin cx by x as x goes to 0 is c by, similarly here tan dx by x as x goes to 0 is d plus or minus tan cx by as x goes to 0 is e plus or minus limit as x goes to 0 tan fx by x is nothing but f. So, a plus or minus b plus or minus c by d plus or minus e plus or minus f. So, once the given function is in such a form as x goes to 0 and x is measured in radians, you can apply the basic formula to evaluate such limits. Okay. Now, another important formula. Limit x goes to 0, 1 minus cos ax by x square. This is very important, very important. Limit x goes to 0, 1 minus cos ax by x square. This is limit x goes to 0, 1 minus cos theta. This is of the form 1 minus cos theta. 1 minus cos theta in half angle formula, 1 minus cos theta. 1 minus cos theta is 2 sin square theta by 2. From trigonometric results, 1 minus cos theta is 2 sin square theta by 2. Based on that formula, here theta is ax. So, the given limit may consider as limit as x goes to 0, 1 minus cos theta. Cos theta is 2 sin square of theta is here ax by 2 by x square. So, since 1 minus cos theta is 2 sin square theta by 2, half angle formula, based on half angle formula, 1 minus cos theta is 2 sin square theta by 2. You can write 1 minus cos ax as 2 sin square. Here theta is ax. So, ax by that is 2 into limit as x goes to 0, because 2 is a constant independent of x, independent of limit. So, you can take it out of the limit, 2 into limit as x goes to 0. This is sin a by 2 x by x whole square. Sin square theta, this is almost all some alpha, sin square alpha by x square. So, sin alpha by x whole square, that is 2 into, you can apply the limit to the base, because the power does not depends on x, a by 2 x by x whole square. Now, you can apply the limit to the base, because the base only depends on x, the power does not depends on x. You can take the limit to the base. Once the base limit exists and takes a finite value, you can take that limit to the base only, because the power does not depends on x. So, that 2 into, this is clearly of the form sin some k x by x, sin k x by x, as x goes to 0 is clearly k. What is k here? A by 2. So, hence this limit becomes a by 2. Here we have square. So, the required value is 2 into a by 2 whole square, that is 2 into a square by 4, which gives us a square by, this is very important formula related to the trigonometric functions, evaluation of the limits of the trigonometric functions. Limit as x goes to 0, 1 minus cos ax by x square. X square is always equal to a square by 2. In particular, a equal to 1. In particular, a equal to 1, we get 1 by 2. That is, that should be taken in note form. So, limit as x goes to 0, 1 minus cos x by x square is always equal to 1 by 2. This is very important formula related to the limits of the trigonometric functions. Limit as x goes to 0, 1 minus cos x by x square is always equal to 1 by 2, because I am taking a equal to 1 here. Taking a equal to 1, clearly it takes the value 1 by 2. This is very important note. This is also very important. Now, whereas coming to other formula, limit as x goes to 0, 1 minus cos ax by x instead of x square, if we have only x in the denominator, that is clearly 0, because limit as x goes to 0, it may be written as x into 1 minus cos ax by x square. I am multiplying the numerator and denominator with x. So, it may written as 1 minus cos ax by x square into x. Now, apply the limit to x individually, and limit as x goes to 0, 1 minus cos ax by x square, because already we know the limit as based on this formula, the limit is a square by 2, a finite value. So, hence you can apply individually the limits to x as well as this function, product of the function, just product of the functions is limit of the product of the function is nothing but product of their limits, once the limits exist only. Limit x goes to 0, x is nearing to 0, x is 0, 0 into, this is clearly a square by 2 as per our previous formula. So, clearly 0. So, instead of x square in the denominator, once it has x, Clearly the limit is always 0. That is very important. One should observe this one, the power of the x in the denominator. Once it is x square only, the limit takes a finite value and it is a square by 2. Once it is x, the limit takes a finite value, but it is 0. That is the difference that one must observe here. Next, okay, based on this, formula, for example, evaluate the limit as x goes to 0, 1 minus cos x by x sin x, x into sin 3x, of course. Based on this formula, for example, evaluate the limit as x goes to 0, 1 minus cos x by x into sin 3x. Now the given limit is, limit x goes to 0. I will write this given limit as 1 minus cos x by x square to make it finite into x by sin 3x. Just I am writing the given limit as 1 minus cos x by x square into x by sin 3x, because x cancel, and so that we get only x here. Now this is limit as x goes to 0. Write this function as 1 minus cos x by x square by, this is sin 3x by x. I am taking down, I am taking this x to the denominator of sin 3x, so that there is no change in the function itself. So this is of the form limit sum x goes to a fx by gx. Once individual limits of fx and gx exist at the particular point, you can apply the limit to the numerator as well as the denominator as per algebra of the limits. Once the limits exist to the numerator and denominator and takes a finite values, you can straight away apply the limit to the numerator and denominator also. So the total limit reduces to this form. Limit as x goes to 0, 1 minus cos x by x square, clearly which is our formula, which gives us 1 by 2 here, by, that is the limit of the numerator, and the denominator's limit is of the form sin a x by x as x goes to 0, sin a x by x as x goes to 0, base a equal to 3. Hence, it is 3. So, the numerator's limit is 1 by 2, the denominator's limit is 3. Hence, it comes to the denominator. The required limit is 1 by 6. So, in such a way, you have to apply the formula, given formulas to evaluate the limits of trigonometric functions. Next one. Next formula. Next formula. Limit x goes to 0. Limit x goes to 0. Sin ax minus sin bx. Limit x goes to 0. Sin ax minus sin bx. Do one thing. Here I am taking cos ax, cos bx. Limit x goes to 0, cos ax minus cos bx by x square. Limit x goes to 0, cos ax minus cos bx by x square. In such case, apply trigonometric transformations. Cos a minus cos b. Cos a minus cos b is minus 2 sine of a plus b by 2 into sine of a minus b by 2. This is our transformation. Cos c minus cos d. Cos c minus cos d transformation. Minus 2 sine c plus d by 2. Sin c minus d by 2 transformation. So, based on this, change the given limit to the numerator is of the form cos a minus cos b. Hence, you can write that summation to the product as minus 2 sine of a stands for ax here, b stands for bx. So, a plus b by 2x into sine of capital A is ax, capital B is bx. A minus b means a minus b into x. So, a minus b by 2x by x square. The given limit may be reduced as cos ax minus cos bx minus 2 sine of a plus b by 2x sine of a minus b by 2x by x square. This is our limit. Minus 2 is constant, independent of the limit, because the limit is over x. So, you can take minus 2 as common. The limit is applicable to the functions. I will write the sine functions, sine of a plus b by 2 into x by 1x here into sine of a minus b by 2x by x, one more. I am taking x square. I am taking x square as 1 x into x. 1x is right in the denominator of this function, and one more x is right in the denominator of other function. Here, since it is product, x into x gives us x square itself. So, x square is distributed as x into x to the denominators of the both the signs. That is minus 2 into. You can apply the limit individually here, because this is of the sum k x by x. This is also in the same form. So, the limit exists to both the functions individually. So, by x, this is one limit, and similarly limit x goes to 0, sine of a minus b by 2x by x itself. It gives us minus 2 into, as x goes to 0, sin kx by x is k, that is here the limit is a plus b by 2. into here that the limit is a minus b by 2. And 2 get cancelled. So that we get b square minus a square by 2. You can use it as a formula here. Limit as x goes to 0, cos ax minus cos bx by x square is always equal to b square minus a square by 2. B square minus a square by 2. Actually, these are the immediate consequences of the formula sin ax by x is a. That should be observed. The total function is reduced to the known formula, and you can apply that formula. By applying that formula, you can evaluate the limit. That is the procedure here. Some important expansions which are useful in dealing the limits. Consider them as formulas here. The expansion of e power x. E power x expansion is 1 plus x by 1 factorial plus x square by 2 factorial plus x cube by 3 factorial and so on up to infinity. E power x is 1 plus x by 1 factorial plus x square by 2 factorial plus x cube by 3 factorial and so on up to infinity. This is known as power series expansions. Power series expansions of e power x. Now from this we get e power x minus 1 is x by 1 factorial plus x square by 2 factorial plus x cube by 3 factorial and so on up to infinity. Just I am expressing e power x exponential function as an infinite series in x. As in powers of x, I am expressing e power x as an infinite series. Hence, it is power series expansion of exponential function e power x. Now, dividing both sides with x. Dividing both sides with x, we get e power x minus 1 by x is 1 by 1 factorial, x by 2 factorial, x square by 3 factorial. Dividing both sides with x, we get e power x minus 1 by x is 1 by 1 factorial plus x by 2 factorial plus x square by 3 factorial and so on up to infinity. Now, taking limit as x goes to 0 on both sides. Taking limit as x goes to 0 on both sides, we get limit as x goes to 0 e power x minus 1 by x is limit as x is approaching 0. 1 by 1 factorial is 1 by x by 2 factorial plus x square by 3 factorial and so on up to infinity. That is limit as x goes to 0 e power x minus 1 by x becomes, as x goes to 0, the terms except this constant term, the remaining terms are depending on x. As x is nearing to 0, all these terms becomes 0 clearly. 0 by 2 factorial, 0 by 3 factorial, everything becomes 0. Because the remaining terms, except the first term, the remaining terms involves x. So, we get 1 only, because all the remaining terms becomes zeros. Hence, limit as x goes to 0, e power x minus 1 by x is always equal to 1. This is an important result. This is an important result. Limit as x goes to 0, e power x minus 1 by x is always equal to 1. This is based on the infinite series expansion of exponential function. You can find this limit. Limit as x goes to 0, e power x particularly minus 1 by x is always equal to 1. Similarly, we can prove that limit as x goes to 0, instead of taking e power x, suppose if you take replacing x with minus x by x, e power minus x, taking instead of x taking minus x, we get minus here, we get minus here, alternatively plus minus plus minus plus minus. So that e power minus x minus 1 by x, by taking this one to this side, we get here minus, alternatively minus plus minus plus like that. Dividing with x, we get minus 1 here. Here we get minus. The remaining terms are in alternatively plus minus. As the limit x goes to 0, the remaining terms goes to 0 except the first term minus 1. So that the required limit is minus 1, or you can reduce this limit to this form like this. Limit as x goes to 0 is same to that of minus x goes to 0 minus of e power minus x minus 1 by minus x, minus by minus plus. You can write this limit as this, which is minus 1 into limit minus x goes to 0, e power minus x minus 1 by minus x, which is clearly 1. So, the required limit is minus 1. Instead of e power x minus 1 by x, once you have e power minus x minus 1 by x in the function, as x goes to 0, that is minus 1. Similarly, based on the expansions, same model expansions, limit as x goes to 0, e power ax minus 1 by x value. Based on the same model, limit as x goes to 0, e power ax minus 1 by x. E power x, replacing x with ax in the expansion. Here we get ax, here a square x square, here a cube x cube, like that. So, this is limit as x goes to 0, I will take the expansion here itself. E power ax is 1 plus ax by 1 factorial, a square x square by 2 factorial. Similarly, a cube x cube by 3 factorial up to infinity. This is the expansion of e power ax minus 1 by x. This is our limit. Now, this one get cancelled. You can remove this one. Dividing each term with x, the denominator. The limit becomes limit as x goes to 0. Dividing each term with x, you get a by 1 factorial here, a square x by 2 factorial here, a cube x square by 3 factorial, the next term, like that, up to you get infinity. As x is nearing to 0, as x goes to 0, the terms involving x here in the numerator, these are all becomes zeros. As x is nearing to 0, it is 0, it is 0, everything is 0 except the first term, because the first term does not depend on x. Hence, we get only a by 1 factorial. The remaining terms are zeros, 0, 0, 0 and so on. Hence, we get a. So limit as x goes to 0, limit as x goes to 0, e power x minus 1 by x is a. Limits, these are all limits related to the exponential functions. Limits related to the exponential functions. And similarly, next, limit x goes to 0, e power x minus e power bx by x. Suppose the function is given, limit is like this. This is also comes under exponential functions. Limit of the exponential functions. Limit x goes to 0, e power x minus e power bx by x. Now, to evaluate this limit, write the numerator as e power ax minus 1 minus of e power bx minus 1 by x. Just I am adding 1 because minus of minus here plus 1. I am adding 1 here and subtraction of 1 to the numerator. Adding 1 and subtraction of 1 to the numerator, there is no change in the function. Hence, you can write the numerator as e power ax minus 1 minus of e power bx minus 1. Once you take this minus inside the bracket, minus e power bx plus 1. So, 1 and minus 1 get cancelled. The function becomes e power ax minus e power bx itself. So, the numerator's function may be changed in such a way by adding 1 and minus 1. Now, divide the numerator with the denominator. What is the denominator here? X. Dividing the numerator with the denominator, we get limit as x goes to 0. Dividing the numerator with the denominator means you have to divide each and every term in the numerator. E power ax minus 1 by x, dividing this term with x, minus dividing the other term e power bx minus 1 by x. Now, this is one term and this is another term. Both the terms as x goes to 0 takes this form. Hence, you can straight away apply the limits individually to the functions because the limits exist to us by previous formula. You can apply the limit to individually to each term of the function, which reduces to this formula, so that the limit is a, here the limit is b. Hence, the required limit as x goes to 0, e power ax minus e power bx by x is a minus b itself. This is also you can use it as a formula. Anywhere if you have limit as x goes to 0, e power 3x minus e power 2x by x, suppose the limit is in such a way, straight away you can write it as 3 minus 2, that is 1. So, in such cases you can apply this formula. Again, similarly, another formula, limit x goes to 0, a power x minus 1 by x, where x is positive, where x is greater than 0, a real, positive real. Once a is positive real, limit as x goes to 0, a power x minus 1 by x. Instead of e, here we have a. Now you can write a power x in terms of e power x by the logarithmic principles. A power x, whenever a is a positive real, you can write it as e power log a into x. By the properties of the logarithms, a power x may be written as e power log a into x, log a into x, where log a to the base e, of course, here, log a to the base e here, into x. Taking logarithm on both sides and finding that function, you get this result. A power x is e power log a into x. So, the given limit here is limit as x goes to 0. You can write a power x as log a to the base e into x minus 1 by x. The given limit becomes e power log a to the base e into x minus 1 by x. Assuming this as k, assuming log a to the base e as k, you can reduce this function to the known formula limit as x goes to 0 e power ax minus 1 by x, e power ax minus 1 by x form. Instead of a, here we have k. So, limit as x goes to 0 e power kx minus 1 by x, where k is log a to the base. So, by the known formula, this is clearly k. What is k here? That is log a to the base e, log a to the base e. So, limit as x goes to 0, a power x minus 1 by x is always log a to the base. So, for example, if you are in need of the limit as x goes to 0, 2 power x minus 1 by x, that is clearly log 2 to the base. Similarly, limit as x goes to 0 from 3 power x minus 1 by x is log 3 to the base. So, these are all comes under limits of the exponential functions, limits of the exponential functions. Similarly, based on that formula, limit as x goes to 0, a power x minus b power x by x, where a, b are positive reals, where a, b are positive reals, limit x goes to 0, a power x minus b power x by x is nothing but limit as x goes to 0, e power log a to the base e into x minus e power log b to the base e into x by x itself. Once you change a power x to e power form, that is nothing but e power log a to the base e into x, e power log b to the base e into x by x. Clearly of the form e power mx minus e power nx by n, that gives us m minus n, which is log a to the base e minus log b to the base e power mx minus e power nx by x, already given to you. This formula is already given to you. X is always equal to m minus n. So, where m is log a, n is log b here. So, log a minus log b to the base e. In single logarithm, that is log a by b to the base e. So, such formulas you can use in dealing the limits of exponential functions.